Just to know you're here to stay. I walk with faith, not with fear. Every step I know you're near. Through the doubt, through the rain, you're the calm inside the flame. Even when the night is long, your light leads me on. So I walk.
Blessings, everyone. Welcome to the Walk with Faith podcast. We have beautiful Nancy Malicoat with us. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Molly.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you. So the last time we were here, we talked about a lot of different things on your journey. What has changed or anything new going on your spiritual journey?
I actually did have a very strange dream the other night. I had started asking because I don't get information like everybody else does, and I'm definitely not healed. I guess that's for later on down the road, but it's got me to the point where I started questioning whether I have had an awakening and what's going on. So I asked God, I said, please, help me out here. I feel lost. I feel like I'm out of my mind. Um, please give me something. And when I fell asleep, um, I had this dream that it was like a modern day building, but Jesus and some of his disciples were there. And they had
Wow.
just finished talking someplace and they were heading to talk someplace else. And I was supposed to go to the second place. So I got my car, everybody left and we got in our vehicles and everything and went to the new place. And when I walked in, this lady's like handing me these clothes saying, here, put this on, you got to wear this. And I'm like, why do I have to wear this? And she's like, because you're high priestess. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And she's like,
That's so
he
interesting.
says, yeah, he says you are. So you don't argue with me, put them on. And I'm like, okay. So I put them on. And Jesus and his disciples came in, and there was a hallway where the entrance exit was. And they got part way in and were getting ready to go talk. And I don't know exactly what happened, but they like all started backing out and like changing in different clothes real fast. And I'm like, what's going on? Jesus was like, we can't do this now. And I'm like, okay. He's like, we have to go to the next place. And I'm like, okay. So everybody started like they were changing clothes like within seconds. They were all changed and you couldn't even recognize any of them. And I was getting ready to walk out and I had forgotten my clothes. So I went back in to get them. And the lady that originally given me the clothes was like, here, you need to take these other people's too. And I'm like, hurry up, I'm gonna, lose them. I don't know where we're going next. And I walked outside, the parking lot was empty, just my car was there. And I got all these people's stuff and my stuff. And I'm just standing there thinking, I don't know where to go next. And like telepathically or whatever came into my mind in the dream was, haven't I always gotten you where you needed to be?
I got goosebumps.
And I said, yes.
Ooh,
And then I woke up.
wow. Oh, I have chills.
Okay. I know every time I think about it, I get chills. It's like, it was so weird, but I guess that was my answer.
So before you went to bed, you literally asked God for more information because you were questioning the path, like your
Right.
spiritual path. And it came through and Jesus was there. And
Mm-hmm.
and you, so how do you feel about that? Do you feel that you were one of his disciples? Do you feel like so you were a high priestess?
That's what the lady told me. And I mean, I didn't even know that at that point. And she's like, don't argue with me. He said you are. So it's like, okay, I'll pick one. And the robes and stuff they were beautiful. It was like purples and like royal blues and gold all on it and everything. It was gorgeous.
Wow.
And yeah, I was like, are you sure I'm supposed to wear this? She's like, yes.
Have you
So
have you done research on what you saw, any of those colors, or what that could mean for you?
No, I haven't yet. Things have been so crazy here lately. I haven't had a chance to, but I want to.
I'm sure you'll receive more messages that will come through. I think it's very interesting that you said that everybody changed clothing within seconds. And that reminds me of the fact that spiritual timing is so different than physical time. And it
Hmm.
was almost like a blink of an eye, and then they were gone as well. And they looked completely different. So, do you feel that in your dream, they had to change because they were disguising themselves or having to change what they look like on the exterior because there was some sort of conflict that was coming in, or they,
So what I got, what I sensed in the dream was something evil was going on, or that something evil was coming into that building or whatever. It's like I said, they never even talked. They were on their way up to talk, and then they turned around and headed out and said, "We have to go now." It was just like so fast,
like, now is not the time that we're going to do this. We have
right?
to protect our disciples, our high priestesses, our group of, I'm hearing loved ones. So, yeah, wow, that's very powerful, Nancy. So
Yeah, it was.
how did that make you feel?
It kind of shocked me at first, but and I don't know, I don't really feel any different, but I mean the messages came through, so I
Right.
that's one thing I've never questioned, if God sends something, it's meant to be. So I've never questioned or argued that. So
Right.
it just it still kind of shocks me, but it kind of feels good too, knowing that no, I haven't lost my mind.
Haven't lost your mind. I know. It's something that goes beyond the mind, you know, especially I feel like, and we all embody it, the divine feminine energy, but that's operating in the heart space of the trusting of the higher guidance, the intuition,
Mhm.
rather than the logical mind. Because our mind will play tricks on us. And
Yeah,
so I think that's wonderful that they had you. Yeah, they brought you that message. And that's who you are because you were questioning it and you asked, and it literally came through for you.
it did.
Wow, yeah, not crazy. It's really hard when we try to rationalize all of this stuff. And that's where we're shifting to is tapping more into our intuitive nature, which is hard to grasp sometimes because we want to go back into the mind and be like, well, that doesn't make sense. How is that even possible? It is. It's possible. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think too, my mom always told me, little growing up, that I would always be a good nurse or doctor or whatever, and because I was always so caring and nurturing and everything, and I guess humble. And I guess the reason I don't feel any different is because you're supposed to stay humble. And if I let that get to my head, then it wouldn't be
That's right.
humble anymore. So,
I think that's huge. And I really love the fact that you just said that. Um, that is, I feel like the most important thing, at least for me, Nancy, is, and I remember my guide said this to me a long time ago, and I didn't know what they were talking about. I was with my old God family. This had to be like 2018. And they said, so this was like my ancestors and my gypsy, everybody was there and my guardian angels, and they're like, um, stay humble through your journey. And I go, but I am humble. I'm like, I am humble. Apparently I wasn't humble enough because God felt, there's things that, get stripped out of our life and we are broken and you really are humbled. Um, and that's like, in my practices and prayers too, and that I do with my son Ryan, it really is about humility, no matter what. And I feel like there's a difference between like shining, being happy,
Mhm.
and feeling that, um, and your sovereignty, but that doesn't change the fact that you shouldn't stay humble. I always say that I know where my bread is buttered, and that's God. So, because literally life is in the palm of his, her, all's hand. Like, I mean,
Right.
it just is because I've seen it, and I'm sure that you have too. But yeah, it's about that humility. But it's what I think is so beautiful, Nancy, is they showed you. God showed you because you're like, I just, am I losing my mind? Because I don't believe so. And the fact that your mom said you'd be a powerful doctor or nurse, the first thing that popped into my mind was healer, especially as a high priestess. So that's within you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's so wonderful. But yeah, humility is huge.
it is. And I always think too, like, look how Jesus lived, when he was
Mhm.
here. He even washed his disciples' feet
Beat.
at the Last Supper, and
Yes.
they were like, I started watching The Chosen again. I started watching
Love that
it again,
show. I love that
and
show.
but I finally watched season 5 at the Last Supper, and Simon sitting there arguing with him about not washing his feet. Well, then here,
Mhm.
wash all of me.
Yeah. Because no one is better than anyone.
Mhm. And
Nobody.
some people, it really bothers me when you see people who get power for, some reason or another, and then they let it go to their head. It's like, that's not right. Don't do that.
No, it's not about that. I really feel it's like we want to get in touch with who we are. But what I've noticed, Nancy, is there's almost like this divide. Yes, okay, for me personally, and people can disagree. We have the universe and we have a spark of God, yes, in us. Some people say that they are um okay, I'm gonna say what I think. I believe I'm a tiny, tiny little piece, a tiny little speck,
A grain of sand.
a grain of sand of the Creator. I
Hmm.
feel like I'm just this tiny little piece. Yes, we have the ability to create our reality, but I also know that we have a team around us and we have God around us. So when I tried to do everything on my own, it didn't work out so well for me, and at all. And so it's really truly about coming back to um, the self and connecting to source, to God, the divine, and being humble and knowing who we are, yes, but we're still just a little tiny grain of sand in so much.
Hmm.
Um, but I do feel like there's a divide where people are just playing God. And I've seen how that works. I've seen firsthand how that works out for people. And that can be it can be a downfall. But it's not really for us to tell people. It's only the people that are going to be, yeah. So,
What worries me too about that is people walking around saying they're a god because they carry a divine spark. And it's like, I don't think that's what they meant by that.
we all carry a divine, I believe we all do.
Yeah, we do, but that doesn't make us gods.
No, it does not. No. I love I call Puppy Moon a little goddess. I call her a little angel in disguise. I do feel like animals have been brought here, speaking on a different frequency that we can telepathically communicate or feel. But obviously they bark, like she doesn't speak English. Um, and but I feel like it's our duty. They came here with unconditional love. And where does that come from? God. And they're these little furry angels that have been brought here that it's our job to love them and
Mhm.
treat them right. And I was like, Brian, to my son, I was like, I think I've failed many times when it comes to taking care of God's angels. I was like, I'm gonna do everything in my power, because we're not perfect, but so she's my little doggy angel. I really do feel that. And I'll say it to her and she looks at me and she's like, that's right. And um so but I do feel like that too, because a lot of people, that's another thing, praying. Um, there's a grid, there's um programming, and when people, and pray to whatever you want, but there's a lot of people walking around claiming to be um gods or goddesses or godlike. We can have that DNA or that link to our ancestors, or that flow through us, because I do feel like things flow through us. It doesn't mean that we take the place of God or anything like that, um, or pray to. This is coming through. And I just saw something regarding this, like praying to the universe, when I just found out that the universe is actually like and I could be wrong, but like a coded grid, it's still like a prison.
Mhm.
So, and it has no emotions. It reflects back, yes, what you want. So that's something on my journey, is where I've been able to see the difference of praying to God, the Most High. And there's difference between doing that, because that's my therapy session. Like there were many days where I was on the floor crying to like my angels and everyone in God, because they're rooting you on. I just saw something with Bashar and he's like, everyone has guides. Everyone has a team. And so it's one thing to like express your emotions and talk with them, but when you do it to the universe, that's different, because the universe is going to mirror back what you think. And if you think about it, what you think, right? We just talked about getting out of the ego
Right.
and operating here, more in the heart space, intuitively, open-hearted, vulnerable. There's just a difference. But I think it just depends on the people and their journey, what they're ready for, and people will all learn on their own time. And I feel like the relationship with God is very personal too.
Yes.
Um, yeah, many people. But all right, High Priestess Nancy. I think that's
Um,
beautiful.
and one thing I thought about when you were talking about that too is you were saying people can pray to whoever they want. I noticed because I'm growing up Catholic, um, and when I started, like I said, I used to sit and watch Westerns with my dad and stuff, and how they treated the Native Americans, calling them savage and everything. They prayed to the same God we do. They had guardian spirits. We have guardian angels.
Exactly.
And as I've got older, I've noticed it's pretty much the same with any religion. It's
Right.
just they call him by a different name. That doesn't mean that they believe differently.
It all
And
goes back to the same source.
and my sister cracked me up when I first was moving up here. She said something about, do you believe in Native American stuff now? I said, yes. She said, how many gods do you worship? I'm like, there's only one
One
God.
God. Just because you believe in that and honor and respect it doesn't mean that you worship it.
Hmm.
Yeah, and but that's okay. Yeah. You're
But
like,
yeah,
there's only one God.
that kind of free. How many gods? There's only one God. There's only one creator. I mean,
Yeah, that's true. All right, Nancy. So, since we're talking about souls, as a soul choosing this life, what lesson did you come here to master?
um, I have to say it's unconditional love. After growing up, Um, I was unloved and unwanted by most of my family. My mom finally admitted this to me when I was a teenager, because growing up, at one point I thought I was adopted because I could tell how I was treated different than my sister
Wow.
and brother and stuff. And I finally started asking, am I adopted? Why don't you treat me like Aunt and Teddy, you know? And they know we love you just as much, and we'll show you your birth certificate and everything. And so as I got older and stuff, I still felt like I was unloved, and I was a young adult, and I had gone to work. And when I got home that night, my mother picked an argument, and we got into the discussion again, and she finally admitted that they had me too soon after my sister. And then I was born early and had a lot of health problems and stuff. She's like, we thought just putting a roof over your head and food in your belly and everything was enough. She's like, but no, we didn't really love you like your sister and
Wow.
brother. And it was like, okay, well, and she always apologized for it and said she'd do different. But when I came up here, when she was on her way out, um, it was that trip that I found out that they took me out of the will.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was a big shock. So it was like, wow, what a way to keep on showing me, yeah, you don't love me, or you apologize and say you love me, but obviously you didn't. So yeah, I think unconditional love, and people have always asked me, they're like, you have such a big heart, how, being like my best friend down in Florida, she's like, how after going through everything you've gone through, do you still have such a big heart? And it's like, I don't know, I just do. I mean, I've always had a soft heart, and even working in the nursing home, like losing patients and stuff was really, really, especially when I lost my first one. And one of the girls told me, you have to harden your heart. I'm
Yeah, you
sorry.
don't.
No, I can't do that.
No, you
No,
don't.
it's like I'm still always going to care and, worry
Right.
about people. So, but yeah, I think
As you should.
unconditional love was the big thing that I came here to learn, especially dealing with all that, to still have love and stuff, but then still have the boundaries too. Like my sister and I aren't even talking right now, and I didn't even know the reason she was having problems, but apparently she just kept on bringing up excuses of that I didn't care about her and everything because I never called her, and I'm like, I'm not a phone person. I
I
said,
feel you there. I'm not a phone person either.
yeah.
Yeah.
I said, I sent her a good morning, good night little image every day. And she's like, I'm sick of getting those. Fine, I won't send them to you anymore. But yeah, so we aren't even talking right now. And she had given me a couple house plants of hers and asked me to give her pots back when I finally got them repotted. So I finally got them repotted, and I took the pots down there one day when we were at work and hung them, had them, I cleaned them all up and everything and had them, hung them in a bag with a note that said, if you ever want to talk, I'm here, but I do not want to argue with you. And I have yet to hear from her.
Yeah. She's not ready. She's not ready.
Nope. So it's like, that's okay. I've been without, I've had to
Right.
walk away from a lot of people in my life for one reason or another. And it's like, I would rather walk away than be drugged through the drama.
That's right. That's right. Because you can still have an open heart and loving
Hmm.
heart and still set those boundaries. Very important to protect your peace
Yeah, you have
and
to.
protect your heart. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. I can relate to that trust or yeah, trust situation. When my dad when my dad passed, my grandma was so heartbroken and my uncle had um power of attorney. And he's a very powerful man. He had power of attorney and he was able to, well, I'm not even for sure because I can't get a hold of it. The trust, he refuses to give it to me, but from what I know is he somehow persuaded my grandma after my dad had a sudden heart attack and stroke
Oh,
to remove me, my brother, my mom, and Ryan out of the trust.
oh
And
wow.
he took everything. Yeah, my grandma's passed. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So somehow, some way, if that's even the truth, I'm not really sure, but I've already, you know, forgiven and released that because what I see in that's because he didn't like my father. My father was, I think, 7 years younger, and my grandma always believed that you don't give one without the other. And so she always was equal with everyone. But even so, my dad's light, the love, he would care for my grandma. He took care of my grandma. He was very envious. Um, and so I think that was his opportunity to take complete control. You know, my dad was no longer here.
Um,
Um, yeah. Well, he is here, actually. He's
yeah,
just here in spirit.
yep,
They're all here.
physical form.
They're just not in physical form, but they are here. So, yeah, but you still have to keep that heart chakra open because if we hang on to envy or resentment, then it's poison.
It is.
It's poisonous for the soul. So you
Mm-hmm.
gotta let it go. It's gonna come back in some form, some way,
Yep,
someday. Maybe on another realm or maybe next lifetime. I'm not. We discussed this. We're not coming back. Didn't we discuss this?
yep.
I'm not coming back. I'm
I'm
good.
done.
I am
I'm
so
done.
done. I'm gonna do the best I can so I don't have to come
Redo
back. I'm
this.
going to source. Yeah, exactly. So, okay. So, Nancy, what does living in your truth look like today?
Um, I just don't get angry or stressed anymore. Like ever since I moved up here when my basement flooded and stuff, and I was down there sucking up water with the shop vac and carrying it out. It's like if I get upset about it, the water just kept on flowing. I just kept on carrying it out and dumping it. It's like, what's the point in getting upset and stressed about stuff? Because all that does is like poison your soul and your spirit. It's
That's
like
right.
it just makes you angry and there's no point in it.
That's right.
So yeah, and a good friend of mine asked me one day, he's like, "Do you ever get angry?" Nope, not anymore. I'm done with all that. I
Yeah,
backed off. Like when the jar fell out of the wardrobe and broke the other day, it's like, oh, I guess I'm cleaning again.
that's right. Yeah, you cleared negative energy. We talked about that.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like, I guess I didn't do a good enough job the day before cleaning, so I had to do it
That's
again.
right. They were like, "You're not done yet. You're just not done, Nancy." You know what's so funny about that? Oh, it's very interesting how the divine works. I remember when Ryan and I were house hopping and we went to La Quinta and we were in an Airbnb and he needed to get like a new I think it was like a shell for his computer because his was something had happened to his. So we went and we saw a sale, I think at Best Buy and it for his desktop. And I go, and he goes, well, that one's cheaper. It's on sale. I think it'll fit. And I'm like, okay, you're gonna know best because you're the computer person. I don't know what this is. So we got it literally he, oh my gosh, opens the box, puts it around where I guess the brain of the computer is or where everything, the fans and everything are,
Right, the
and
bug
it
zapper.
shattered.
Oh,
It
no.
shattered and it looked like black onyx glass. It shattered everywhere. And he had just worked so hard and he looks at me and his mouth was open. I go, that's okay. I said it wasn't meant to be. That wasn't the right one. We should have got the other one. We just cleared negative energy. I'll sweep it up. I swept it up and we called them. We took it back and they ended up giving him the other one. Um,
Okay.
yeah. I said, see, you were supposed to get the other one. And maybe I needed to clean the floors. So,
Sometimes
but
it is a shock though. I mean, I can imagine just like when the jar hit the floor the other day, I was like,
it's shocking.
it is.
You're like, what? I just cleaned. Like, I don't want to do that again. They're like, too bad. That's funny.
It's either you clean or you will have glass in the bottom of your feet for days.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I think it's good that you don't get angry over things anymore and you'd rather find peace in a situation. So, yeah.
I think I shocked my son when I went down last time too, because um he kept on looking at me like, Mom, Mom. And I was like, what? And he's like, nothing. And then when I came back up and I got in the mail that little box with that they had sent, and because I'm further away about the pregnancy and everything, and I had messaged him because he wanted on the top of the box it said FaceTime before you open. So we're talking and everything. And then after we got done, he's like, are you mad? And I'm like, why would I be mad? I got something that is adorable and beautiful. I'm the only one that got it. I said, and
Yeah.
I got something to keep forever. So it went in the firebox, but yeah, it's a little box and you open it up and it's got all the ultrasound pictures in
I
there.
love that.
I'm coming. It was so cute. I almost cried.
That's
It,
beautiful.
yeah. Are you angry? Why would I be angry?
That you
I
just
got
got a
something,
present of
yeah.
ultra. Yeah.
I got something special to announce my new grandbaby and then to find out it's a boy on top of it. Oh, I'll have to send you that video.
Please.
Him and Miranda both were shooting crossbows at I guess it was some type of balloon or whatever.
Hmm.
And you could hear James counting 3, 2, 1, and they fire, and all this blue smoke just
That
flies
is so
up. It was
awesome.
like, oh my God, it's a boy.
Yeah, because they have all girls.
Yes, they
So
do.
he gets his
All
boy
girls.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
And
exciting.
I talked to him after I watched it, and you could literally, it's the only time I guess because he was so abused and neglected by his dad, he doesn't really get excited or anything, but you could literally hear the excitement and happiness in his
That is
voice.
so
And that,
awesome.
yeah, that made my day. It was like on top of finding out we have a grandson.
That's
So
so awesome.
I have to work extra hard since I'm only going to be there for a couple months after he's born to spoil him so it lasts for a whole year.
I'm so excited for you. When are you going again?
I'm leaving here August 16th,
Okay.
drive down. So,
Florida, right?
right.
Going, yeah. Oh, it's gonna be
Panhandle.
good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I know. I'm probably gonna melt
Like,
and
oh
die.
my gosh,
And
Nancy.
it's like I don't know if I'm ready for that heat, but I have to because my granddaughter, the youngest one, well, actually now since they're getting married and everything. Oh, and I have to tell you about that too. She's not the youngest anymore because Miranda had a little girl too who was only
Aw,
3, so she's 4 now. So, but Hayden, I didn't get to see until she was 2 months
Hayden.
old. Yes,
Ryan's middle name is Hayden.
that's funny too because James um passed away wife's name. Her name was Christina Ryan, but they always called her Ryan.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's weird. And they named her Hayden. You know why they named her Hayden?
Why?
Hayden Aria Malicoat, because her initials spell ham.
Oh, that is so cute. That's adorable. I love it.
But she is a
That's
big
pretty
deal
cute.
too. She is. See, he like, I don't know if you call them practical jokes or he like does little things to her and now she's starting to do that kind of stuff to everybody just to like irritate somebody or joke with them and stuff. Like he tried to get her to take a bite and she'd go to take a bite and he'd pull the spoon back. It's like,
Teasing her a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, a little bit
And
of
now
teasing
she's doing stuff like that to everybody. It's like you're raising a female version of
of
you.
you. Oh, now he's gonna have a little boy.
Yes.
Wow. Wow, that's so beautiful.
Mm.
I'm so happy for your family.
Oh, I am
Yeah.
so happy too. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I
That's
will melt on the way down there and I'll probably melt while I'm down there, but I'm just so excited, and I
I
refuse to wait 2 months to see this baby.
Yeah, because I remember because you go every year. I remember
Hmm.
you went last year and
Yeah,
you drive and
yeah,
it's a long journey.
it is.
Yeah.
But he's like, why don't you fly? Well, the closest airport's like 3 hours away, one. And then you have to run through airports and when you change planes and everything. I can't do all that. Plus, they don't let you check in luggage anymore. They charge you for it. And all the luggage I have to take,
It's
it's
better
really
just to drive.
expensive. It is. And that
Yeah.
way, what I need, I can take with me
I
and
feel
not,
the same way.
it's insane to
Yeah.
fly anymore. I
Yeah.
did my running through airports when I was in the military, and then when I had kids and stuff, I'm done running through airports.
Yeah. And it's kind of nice because when you drive, you can stop, you can check things out, you can bring what you want. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's just better. So, all right, Nancy. What boundary changed your life the most?
Um, I think, and I figured this out when I was really, really young, that if since I like who I am, like I changed things that I didn't like about me, um, and if since I like me, if somebody else doesn't like who I am, they don't have to be in my life.
That's
And
right.
that has been with me ever since then. Like I realized you can't make everybody happy.
That's
And
right.
it kills me people that try so hard to please everyone. It's impossible because there's always going to be somebody that doesn't like you no matter how hard you try.
Exactly. You have to. I love that you said that right now. Oh my gosh, that just touched my soul. You can only be yourself. Love
Hmm.
yourself. You cannot please everyone. It's
You
just what it
don't.
is. And they're either gonna resonate with you and like you and love you for who you are, or they're not. And you're right. They don't have to be in your life. I feel the same exact way.
And what I find is sad is I know people that literally have changed, excuse me, changed stuff that they say they like to be with someone.
Mm-mm.
And it's like you're not being yourself. Like, say you like, I don't know, chocolate. We'll use chocolate because chocolate, dark chocolate.
Chocolate is so
That's my
good. Oh,
favorite.
that was my mom's favorite. I do like
Um,
chocolate.
but yeah, say you like chocolate and then you are with someone that doesn't like chocolate and doesn't want to be around it and stuff, that you start saying, nope, I don't like chocolate either. I'm sorry, there ain't no way. That would be like saying I don't like wolves. I mean,
Right.
there is no way I could do that just to be with somebody. And I know people that have done that. And I think it's sad that one, they feel like they have to change who they are to be with someone, and two, that they don't know themselves well enough to know what they like.
Exactly. Right. And I feel like that's a huge test for I know that's something that I've had to learn too. That's why that really touched me on a soul level. Um, I've sat there with my team, with my guides, and I'm like, okay, what do I want? Because I feel like I've gotten everything I don't want with I've had a lot of tests come my way. I'm like, I know I didn't pray for that one.
Yeah.
Um, nope, no. I know for me, it's vulnerability because I'm vulnerable. We're all different. I feel like we're all vulnerable in different ways.
Hmm.
Um, but I try to be like vulnerable and transparent when anybody with anybody in my life, and I'm just real. Like if I'm silly, I'm silly. If I'm loving, I'm loving. If I say I love you, I love you. Otherwise, I'm in hermit, whatever, it's like and but I know for me it's like if I have I will change and keep evolving for me
Hmm.
to better myself. Um, but it's like if my silliness is too much for you, or me liking peanut butter is, and you don't like peanut butter, I'm not going to stop eating peanut butter. I'm not going to stop being silly and quirky because that's like who I am, or if I say I don't want somebody who has secrets and is not transparent and vulnerable, then I know that I'm not going to change if that person has secrets. We know what we want because we know ourselves.
Hmm.
Um, and so yeah, I've seen that too, where people change themselves for their partners. That comes from people pleasing. And many other wounds, I feel like people pleasing and a fear of abandonment, but then we're truly abandoning ourselves.
Yeah. And I don't think God would be okay with that. I really don't, because He
No,
created us all as individuals and to be who we are. And
right.
if you change that, I don't think it makes Him happy.
I agree. And I would never want somebody to change themselves for me either.
Right,
Change for you, not for me.
right.
I change for me, not for you. Yeah, so I think that's awesome, Nancy. Yeah. Chocolate's amazing. Never given up chocolate.
Nope, I have always loved chocolate. Always. As a matter of fact, during the holidays, my mom would get those Nestle um
Uh-huh.
square bars, the like mix of them.
Oh
And
my gosh, my mom too.
I would have to fight my dad because they'd only put like so many special darks in there, and there were never enough. And it's like, no, I want it.
Those were so good.
Hmm.
I still want to do that beach thing, Nancy, as soon
I
as we
know, so
can.
do I.
And I want to have s'mores.
Oh, did I tell you? We tried roasting those chocolate stuffed marshmallows.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, they are so good. I only wish they made them in dark chocolate. They
they
only
are
have
really
dark
good.
chocolate.
Mm,
Oh yes.
I
Oh,
want to
they're
do
so
that.
good. When we did the burn, Gary and I did the burn pile this winter when it snowed and the fire was so hot. I don't know how he stood there doing it. But yeah, I came in and got the skewers and the marshmallows and stuff, and
Oh,
I tried roasting. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't even stand that close to that. He roasted marshmallows for
oh,
me. And I'm like, how are you doing that? I'm like, I can eat them like they are.
wow. Did you get graham crackers too?
Oh
Did you
no,
just
we
ate
just did
them?
the, yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't need
That
all the
sounds
extra
good.
flour and all that stuff with the graham crackers. I'm fine with just the marshmallow and chocolate.
Oh, that sounds so good. Do you remember those cookies? I know we're getting off the path here, but not really. Do you remember those cookies that my mom used to get them? They're chocolate, marshmallow, and a thin layer of the graham cracker. Are they
Yeah,
pinwheel or what?
something like that. Yes.
Oh,
Oh, I know. I've loved those my whole life too. Oh gosh, there's something about chocolate and marshmallow.
marshmallow. Mhm. So good. So good.
And then to toast the outside of it makes it so much
I
better.
know. We're definitely gonna have to do that at some point. We'll
Yes.
have to find a spot where it's kind of convenient for all of us, or there's a way we can all gather. We're gonna find a way. God will
Yeah.
find a way.
It has to be cooler though, because like I said, going outside in scorching heat will not work.
We could do it during springtime, so it's not
That,
so hot.
that would be good.
Yeah, not like the heat of the summer.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
laugh at me because we would go camping in November and December in Florida, and everybody's like, "Why are you going camping in November and December?" It's because that back then it was, when my kids were little, it was cold during then in Florida. We lived up in the Panhandle, and everybody's like, "Why are you going camping?" I'm like, "Because I like it that way," and they're like, you can't do. I'm
Huh?
like, I get up and start the fire. I make the coffee. I did all that. Nobody
Yeah.
else had to do it. And it's like when they got up, the fire was going, breakfast was cooking, coffee was done. It's like
Yeah.
that was my time. You
Yeah,
have to deal with all the bugs and everything too.
that's
Oh,
true. So
mosquitoes,
like
gnats, oh, flies.
that's true. It's better to do it. Even February would be like pretty possibly to do it. Um, but yeah, because the warmer it gets, the more those
Critters
creatures.
decide to come out.
Yep, that's right. They do. I know we have them here in Texas.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. So I posted, I just have to tell you and everybody real quick. So we had these beautiful lovebirds right above our door. Like you go out the front door and we have a nest there and we have a nest there. And there was a mom and dad. And they had been there pretty much all year. And I think I took a picture and put it on the other channel, the Crossroads channel. Ryan and I and Puppy Moon walk out the other night and we hear little baby chirping. There was
Oh,
three little tiny babies
yay!
that were born.
Oh, that
And
is
they
so
were
cool.
they were all singing, all talking, and we saw three of them and I go, "Oh my gosh, welcome to the world, little
Yeah.
babies." They saw us and then they tucked down and they're like, "Shh." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, they came. Yeah, they're here."
That is so cool.
Beautiful life. Sweet little angels. So, I had to share that with you. I thought you'd like
Thank
that.
you. That is so
You're
awesome.
welcome. Yeah, I'll send you a picture. So
Okay.
cool. Yeah. Okay. When did you realize, Nancy, that loving yourself wasn't selfish, it was survival?
Um, I think when I got hit with the 40 blood clots in my lungs and got so sick and didn't know if I was even going to make it, after I had my surgery and I realized I was going to be around for a little while, um, yeah, that's when I decided to leave my narcissist husband. And I realized life's too short to be living that miserably. So
That's right.
I packed up and what kids wanted to come with me. My oldest was already on her own. She had already had her daughter. But my son came with me and my youngest stayed with her dad, but then ended up when we went back down to Florida, she ended up moving in with me because she wasn't caring enough for her. She said, Mom, can I come live with you? Yes, of course you can. You can come live in her rented shoebox.
That's right. But you were at peace.
Yes,
That's what matters.
it made it so much better. And I mean, there were some times that I would have to call him up and get him to help with one of the grandchildren or something, and he still would cause drama and not do it. And half the time he had been drinking, and I'm like, nope, you're not watching her if you're drinking. I told you that.
Yeah,
And I'd end up having to keep her anyway, which meant I didn't get the sleep I needed. But it was like, I'm not putting a child through that.
that's right.
So,
It's pretty incredible how the body yells at us when and starts to deteriorate our nerves, our emotions, our physical ailment, the physical issues and ailments that occur when we are in situations that are not for our
mhm.
well-being, whether we're in a relationship with a narcissist, and we are over giving and depleting ourselves, our body literally starts to shut down, and that's what happened to you. And thank God you're here and you made that decision because it's not selfish. Your life depended on it.
And I think there were times that I thought about leaving before then, but I knew that I wouldn't be able to make it on my own with three little kids. Thank goodness when all this happened, they were older, so I didn't have to try to support all of them. And but yeah, it's like I knew if I left and had to go crawling back, it would have been worse because that would have given him the upper hand. So
That's right.
that's why God waited to have that all hit me. So he knew that I wouldn't be stressed about trying to raise three kids or having to go crawling back because, yeah, that was one thing I knew was not going to happen.
Yeah. So that and you healed pretty well with the peace that surrounds you that you chose, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
I can do things. Can't do as much as I used to, but I can do things. Sometimes it knocks the crap out of me,
It gets
but
you tired.
I
Yeah.
still, I still like the other day, or was it yesterday? I mowed the grass,
Hmm.
riding mower, but it got done.
2 acres, you said?
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
two
Yeah.
bumpy acres. I can't buy. I wish I had like $1 million to. Hey Lord, can I have like $2 dirt, to even some of the rough spots out?
Right. And
So
somebody to help you with it.
yeah, no, God, can you just dump it for me?
Yeah, I know. It's all,
Watch,
oh,
we're gonna have a mudslide down from the
you
mountains.
never know. You did just ask, and what came through in your dream? Who knows? You just asked right now.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. I'm glad you made that. I'm glad that you made that choice, though, Nancy.
yeah. So am I.
Yeah. And you're here and healthy.
Yes.
So, okay. What generational trauma or cycle runs in your family that you are here to break?
Ooh, there's a lot of those. I have to say the biggest ones are substance abuse, alcoholism runs in my family. So does drug usage. Um, and I have stopped both of those. Like when I was terrible, when I was in the military, um, I was definitely on my way to becoming an alcoholic. I got up one morning and opened up a bottle of wine, took a swig out of it, and I looked at that bottle. I'm like, what the heck am I doing? I closed the bottle up, put it back in the fridge, and never did that again.
Wow.
So that was one of them. And yeah, alcoholism definitely runs in my family. Like my mother used to, and I tried talking to her, and they say that the first step is denial. Yeah, she definitely had denial, and she always said it was first that she needed to sleep was her excuse. But when she couldn't get alcohol, she started buying bottles of NyQuil, and I would see her standing there in the linen closet chugging out of the NyQuil bottle. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was alcoholism was a big thing. And the other thing was staying in unhealthy relationships.
Yeah.
She left my dad and went back so many times. And when I left my ex, my mother-in-law, I guess it would be stepmother-in-law, she's like, you'll go back to him. And I'm like, no, I'm done. And I never did.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
That's
I I
awesome.
I don't care how desperate I got. I'm done. I am not going back to somebody who treated me like crap. He was so bad sometimes. He would pick an argument,
Hmm.
and then I learned when I was younger too, to if somebody's arguing and you don't want to listen to it, you can walk away. You don't have to stand there and argue with them.
That's right.
And so he picked an argument one night, and I got up out of the bed and went out on the couch. He
Yep.
came out there and would not let me go to sleep. He kept on banging on the table and stuff, and I'm like, really? But yeah,
Yeah.
so I knew I didn't want to deal with that anymore. Life's too short to be that darn miserable.
It's so true. That's where I slept too. Nancy was on the couch when I was at the end of the relationship, even prior. I was like, take the room. I was on the couch. The dogs joined me, Daisy and Moon, and we slept out there. Even to this day, I like sleeping on the couch too sometimes. I just feel like I got used to it maybe.
Yeah.
But life is too short. We don't need to be miserable.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So that's awesome that you've been breaking those cycles or you broke those cycles. That's huge.
It is.
And alcoholism, oh, any of those are very difficult to break. It takes a lot of strength, a lot of courage. Yeah.
And I've seen so many people in my family still struggling with it and stuff, and it's like try, you can do this.
Yeah. It's a good numbing agent and denial as well, you know, denying that you um need to heal whatever is going on or acknowledge that there's that codependency there.
Right.
And why are you numbing yourself? What are you numbing? Because it is. So that's awesome. Thank you, Nancy, so much for sharing all of this. I love you.
I love you too.
So, is there any advice that you would like to leave for everybody before we go?
Mm. Just be yourself and stay true to yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
And if
Thank
you
you.
don't like who you are, change what you don't like.
Yeah. And don't let anybody else change you. It's
Right?
for you.
Yep.
It's for you.
Change what you don't like so you're happy with yourself. And then if somebody else doesn't like you, there's the door. Don't let it hit you on the way.
Way out. That's right. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Mom.
Welcome. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me and Nancy. We're sending you so much love, and we pray that you are always surrounded by the Most High God's love, protection, and blessings. Bye, guys.
I walk with faith. You've never failed, not once before. Why would you now, my Lord? So I lay it all in open hands and follow where you stand. You're the breath inside my chest. I'll trust you with the rest. I walk with faith, not with fear. Every step